Just to get this out of the way, there are spoilers for the final season in this video. You've been warned. Hey, I'm back. I was on vacation, which was really nice. 10 points to Slytherin if you can spot what's different about my set, besides the Christmas stuff's down, because obviously it's no longer Christmas time. So this video, let's talk about the new Season 8 trailer for Game of Thrones and actor interviews for the final season, which includes the huge bomb that is Jon's biological parents. So first, let's talk about that teaser that HBO released that showed Jon and Dany arriving at Winterfell and Sansa appearing pretty chill.
Winterfell is yours, Your Grace.
This clip is so reminiscent of another scene.
Your Grace, Winterfell is yours.
Aw, like father, like daughter. Given this seems to be a pretty chill introduction, I'd imagine that Jon and Dany are arriving at Winterfell for the first time and the others haven't reached Winterfell, or at least aren't that close as of yet. Because if they were, this meeting would have been a bit more intense and rushed. So yeah, this scene has to take place just as Jon and Dany arrive at Winterfell. Despite Sansa looking Dany up and down like a cat assessing her prey, she is pretty calm here. Now, the evil part of me wants Sansa to go for her eyes and rip her throat out for Dany's family's role in the death of a few Starks, but the calmer, less violent part of me is glad that Sansa is acting like a real leader and politician. She may hate the Targaryens for their role in the horrible things that befell her family, but she can play nice because she knows there's a greater evil out there. I feel like that is the Sansa a lot of us have wanted for a while now. Someone that can control her emotions, make good decisions, and be a true leader of her people, even when she's seething on the inside. Of course, I expect her to mention to Jon or Dany her discomforts, but overall be fine with working with her. I personally love this more grown-up Sansa, and I think a lot more people will respect her if she continues to behave this way throughout the entire Season 8. Although I love if you look at certain characters, it almost seems like they're thinking the same thing about Sansa. Is she gonna be cool about this? Look at Brienne. Either Brienne is not happy with Dany being at Winterfell, or she's worried Sansa's reaction to her arriving. And then we have Jon's face, which is totally, please don't lose your shit, Sansa. Please, please, God, just don't lose your shit. Or maybe it is the look of a lovesick puppy, because I definitely think Jon has been pussy whipped. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Of course, Dany just looks smug as hell, probably because she's in the home of the dude she's banging. The fact that we don't see Arya probably means she's watching from the shadows to see exactly what is going on and to gauge how she should react. We're of course going to get a Jon-Arya reunion, and it's going to be beautiful. Bran of course is being Bran and hasn't spoken to Jon yet in this scene, likely again because they just arrived at Winterfell and Bran's being all gloomy, not really Bran in front of a fire or something. Okay, I know we're all supposed to be freaking out about Dany in Winterfell and meeting Sansa for the first time, but honestly what has me smiling is Jorah. That guy went into exile to avoid being executed by Ned Stark, or perhaps taking the Black, which I still think was a very real option. Now, many years later, he's not only back in the North, his home, but at Winterfell, forgiven by the Starks. I really hope that is the reason for Jorah's smile here. Not only is he finally back in the North, standing in the Starks' home without fear of death from them, but he's also with his queen who has completely forgiven him. It's a good day for Jorah. Until the undead come, of course. Or until Lyanna sees him and slaps the shit out of him. Next, TV Insider did an interview with Amelia, Kit, and the showrunners, D&D. DB talked about how the show is no longer about who Jon's parents are, saying, "From a dramatic standpoint, it makes things interesting, because the story is no longer about who Jon's parents are. It's about what happens when Jon finds out." I've talked about quite a bit how hard of a bomb this is going to be for Jon to hear. I mean, cousins marrying each other in this world isn't a big deal, but sibling to sibling, aunt to nephew, and that sort of stuff is definitely not okay, and we have plenty of historical, fake history within this world that shows that's not okay. So I think that's something Jon is really going to struggle with. Oh my gosh. I fucked my aunt. I fucked her hard. And this is also something we know Kit has revealed in an interview that Jon isn't going to be too comfortable with. Speaking of Kit, with TV Insider, he stated that Jon will not lie to Dany about what he learns about his biological parents. So there's gonna be no Jon is keeping a secret and pulling away from Dany drama in the final season. Just drama in other ways. But as much as Jon may have a hard time with knowing he banged his aunt, this reveal will cut Dany even more. As Emilia explained in this interview, Daenerys' lifelong dream has been to avenge her family and claim her rightful seat on the Iron Throne. She truly loves Jon. Were she to find out about his title, it would cut deep. Which, first, Dany truly loves Jon. I feel like I'm in the minority that felt like the Jon-Dany romance last season was rushed and not really believable, but enough people bought into it, so I guess whatever. What kind of true love are we talking about? Are we talking like Drogo level love, or are we talking he just knows how to hit all the right places love? But like my favorite meme explains, knowing that Jon technically has the better claim to the throne than you is going to be a huge slap in her face. I can't see Dany willingly giving that title over to him regardless of if they're together or not. While I think one of them dies so we won't have to deal with that dilemma, if they were to both live, I'm sure they would equally share the power. I can't see Jon declaring he's king and for her to know her woman's place. Just not a very Jon thing. At the same time, even if they both live and marry, I can still see Dany being a little butthurt about Jon having a better claim. But what are your bets? Dany and Jon stay together after the reveal, Jon ends up breaking up with Dany, or Dany breaks up with him and goes fucking psycho and goes, "This is my throne, I'm gonna fuck you up." Or, none of the above. You can put in your own thoughts, I guess. Finally, and not the best news, HBO chief Richard Pepler has seen the rough cut of all 6 episodes for the final season, and he's in awe. He told Variety, "It's a spectacle. The guys have done 6 movies. The reaction I had while watching them was, I'm watching a movie. They knew the bar was high. They exceeded the bar. I've watched them twice without any CGI, and I'm in awe. Everybody's in for an extraordinary treat of storytelling and of magical, magical production." So if this guy is that excited pre-CGI, that's a bit insane. Of course, he needs to be a hype man for the company he works for, so take what he says with a grain of salt. Hey, thanks for watching. It's, I guess, alright to be back from vacation. Like, subscribe, and come back for more videos.